Alrighty, I think we're good to go, mate. We're live. We've had a bit of a break and we're back now, as always, for our Magic Millions special. It's how we like to kick off the year here at the Mock Sports. Then we go back into the barn for a little quick spell before we come out fresh for autumn. So, Cashy, joined by Nico as always, mate. How are you?
Yeah, doing all right. Had a good Christian New Year. Good break. How about you, mate? Good Christian, good New Year.
Yeah, good Chrissy, good New Year. The family were in town, so it was a nice, harmless one in Sydney. Didn't do anything really special, but the main question on everyone's lips is how's your body holding up after yesterday? For those of you who don't know, Nico completed his spring punishment, the 24 hours in Macca's challenge. Take us through it a bit, mate. The strategy, how it went, what times?
Yeah, I don't feel great, but I got there at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. There's a video coming out that you'll see, and started off and tried to eat as much as I can early. So I got 5 out of the way early. You came over, and one of my mates came over by about lunchtime. I think I got 2 more done. So I was at 7 by about 1 o'clock, and I chilled out, and then I was like, I'll wait till about 5:30, and then just try and smash it all. And then one of my mates is working there, so he helped me out, got me sorted, and I knew what I had to eat. I think I had a McChicken. I had to eat one like big burger, which was the McChicken, which isn't that bad in the end. McChicken, and then I had to eat the chicken and cheese, and then I had 3 hamburgers left and a double cheeseburger, and I could leave if I ate all of them. If not, I'd have to wait 1 hour. If I ate only the hamburgers, I couldn't get the double cheese down, so I just ate the first hamburger, and then I ate the next 2 over the next hour, and then left at 7 o'clock. So I was there for 11 hours, 13 burgers eaten. But
Rough, man.
yeah, I don't feel great.
Rough.
So, but it's all part of it. So, but I think, yeah, we'll have to work out our next punishment. It'll be different, I'm sure. But
yeah, we might stick away from the eating challenges for the next one. Maybe we'll just do the old lose by, run by, or maybe even something else. But we'll stick away from the eating for a couple of punishments in the near future. Maybe next year we can have another hack because, mate, when I came and saw you 6 in, 7 in, you looked dead then. I can't imagine what it must have felt like to get the next 7 down.
Yeah, I think the worst bit is like I love to have a coffee, and coffee like suppresses your hunger a bit. So I couldn't have my coffee, so I was tired. Like I didn't feel as alert as I normally would with a coffee. Like I'm literally drinking one right now. So it's a bit different, but yeah, it's done now. So that's all it matters.
What did you do the entire time? Like it would have been boring waiting. Like you said, you took a break around 1, 2, and then didn't start eating again until 5:30. Like, what did you possibly do with yourself?
The NBA was on, so I was watching the NBA. Had a couple of bets on, so I was entertained a bit, and then I've TikTok, YouTube, and stuff. Grant Hawthorne, whatever his name is, the golfer, just did a round with Tiger, so there was a video to watch and a couple of different videos I could have watched. I was just chilling out. I wasn't doing too much, just watching videos and Netflix.
Trying not to puke.
No, I didn't feel that bad, but it was all right.
It was just fitting it in. Didn't get too sick.
It was just like I could just feel how bad that shit is for you. I feel so bad today.
Arteries a bit clogged.
Yeah, I felt like my arteries were getting clogged. I said that in one of the videos. So, but yeah, it's done.
Oh, it's done. Punishment has been served. We wait to see who loses the autumn tip-off to face the next punishment. So yeah, guys, that'll be up on YouTube soon, as well as out on our Instagram and TikTok. Little snippets of Nico's day at McDonald's. If you want to watch it now, you can head to our story. A few of the videos will probably still be up there, and you can just see the absolute pain you were in. My favorite one was like real early on when you did the math in your head and you said, I'm fucked after 5 burgers, and that means I can leave at 3 a.m. And then just the depression in your voice and face as your face dropped as you realized like you're already feeling bad and you might be here till the wee hours of the next morning. I felt pretty bad for you, mate, but just win next time, I guess.
Yeah, good one, mate. Good one.
In other mock news, before we get really into the Magic Millions race day, you'll see both of us on YouTube. We're modeling our new hats. We've finally got a hold of a supplier that can get us some dad hats made up. So those should be on sale, hopefully within the next month. We've got to get our act sorted, get a little photo shoot going, get the website up and running. And then we'll put them up for some pre-orders. So you'll be able to pre-order them, and then hopefully they're at your door 2-3 weeks later. And hopefully by the time, slipper season rolls around, you can head to the track in your own Very Mock Sports hat. But other than that, mate, let's just chat all things Magic Millions.
Yeah, we probably got one more thing as well. Some exciting news, which we can probably start revealing. We've been on the talks with Dabble, and
of course,
we have.
We're going to wait for this announcement.
We can announce it. We have worked it out with them. We've made an agreement with them where we get to do a couple more live streams through autumn, which is awesome for us. Big opportunity for us, and I know a lot of you guys found us through Dabble, so I think we've agreed to every 3 weeks or so. It kind of depends on availability and stuff, but every kind of 3-week rotation around that. On a Saturday, we'll be doing a one hour, I think, live stream on the horse racing and stuff like that. And big opportunity for us, which is awesome. They're doing some cool things over there with their different things they're releasing, which is cool. So, but big thanks to them, and it's cool to announce that after our massive spring, thanks to you guys, we're getting opportunities like this as well. So
yeah, you get to punt with us live. The big thing as well, they have Quaddies now. So later when we read out our Quaddie numbers, you will actually be able to copy it on Dabble.
Yeah, saves
from now
a piece
on.
of time.
So saves us, some people text us going, oh, remind me of the numbers, remind me of the horses. No need anymore. You can go straight to our Dabble profile, use the code MOCKSPORTS when signing up to let them know we sent you. Obviously, gamble responsibly and set a deposit limit when you do so, but you can head straight to the profile and just click copy, and your Quaddie is there for you to put as much on as you would like.
Yep.
But yeah, mate, so Magic Millions. Wow, we were there this time last year. We were doing this live from the Magic Millions yard. As much as I was sad that we were missing it this year, we might head up again next year. Maybe it'll be a every 2 year sort of thing. But in the end, in hindsight, it's kind of worked out for the best. What a drama that has happened in Gold Coast in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any real point in us going back. We kind of experienced it, and it was kind of a lot of sitting around. It wasn't. I personally think that it was all right. Like, we got a lot out of it and stuff and learnt a lot. But now that we've kind of learnt it and seen it, there's not much we can do out of it. We'd get the same kind of content unless we went up to more trainers and stuff.
Certainly willing to go for the racing side of things rather than for the whole. We were there for a week and a half or just a week?
Yeah, a week. I just don't see I'd rather go somewhere else, like go down to Melbourne for a big carnival or something than to go up to Gold Coast for the Magic Million. It was just a bit let down in the end, I thought. But yeah, there has been some dramas of track change or whatever it is. Was it? It was
yeah. So the whole sabotage, or did they fuck up, or was it sabotaged? They still won't reveal it. I think they fucked up and they just don't want to mention it. But yeah, that square in the turn is all of a sudden dead and poisoned. They have to move the very first ever meeting they were going to have under light. Well, not the first meeting under lights, the very first big race meeting under lights. All of a sudden had to get moved to Sunshine Coast. Instead, they'd booked all of these big activations and music guests to perform, and they ended up performing to like 10 people in the crowd because they still said, oh yeah, come down and we'll just watch the races on the big screen. But obviously no one really wanted to go do that. But Sunshine Coast was able to hold the sunlight, which was taken out by Private Harry. Shout out to the Corinda boys. Shout out to Nathan Doyle. But yeah, they're going ahead tomorrow on the Gold Coast, but it's going to be wet, 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 according to all of the forecasts. We were there last year. It was on again, off again rain, but apparently it's been really hot until about 2 days ago, and then it's just been torrential ever since. Like, they had
like Sydney right now.
Sydney's like that. They had the run along the beach like they always do, and for some reason the weather always turns it on for that. It's always nice and sunny for that, as it was for us last year. And then that afternoon it hasn't stopped raining. So definitely going to be looking for some wet tracker horses, and it's going to be interesting to see how that track plays out, considering it's brand new grass that they've laid in the last week. They've had track gallops. They said there's no issues, but add another 60 mil of rain to it, there could be some issues. But yeah, like, it's been wet. There's been drama. There hasn't been a lot to talk about sales-wise. There's been a few really big sales, but other than that, it's been mostly, your standard 500 to $1 million, a few million pluses, a couple of 2 million pluses. Yeah, I reckon maybe next year make a long weekend out of it instead of be there for the whole week. I'd like to see maybe a few of Anamo's kids go through the ring, see how much they go for. But yeah, it's good racing, but yeah, I'm interested to look at this card. It's a lot harder than it usually is because Magic Millions is usually our day. Like we usually clean up on Magic Millions Day, but because it's now been split between this card and the Sunlight card, there's a lot of very tricky races on this card that are very open. A couple of them early on, you'll see they're almost donkey-like. They're standard summer races instead of it being 10 fully like the best of the best Magic Millions sold horses going against each other. So it'll be tricky to find some winners, but I'm confident, given our Magic Millions form, we can come out on top today.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah, so currently, do we have any listener questions? Or
we had one, I think. You sent it through to me. We put it up a bit early, so we can't actually read them, but you did send it to me. Is there anyone, Daniel Horro, is there anyone better at finding Magic Million stars than Gay and Adrian?
I'd say there's very few.
Well, the way I kind of look at it is I feel like they put in like 30% more than any other trainer as well. It's like their bread and butter is 2-year-olds, and it's been like that for the last 15 years for Gay. Like she's always so she's going out spending a lot more than your Wallers and stuff that aren't necessarily known for 2-year-olds, where it makes her look great. She probably owns the most 2-year-olds out of the big trainers as well. So it's kind of like evens out, but she does get the best ones. She's definitely the best at finding them, but she definitely spends her worth in in getting them.
No expenses spared. She goes specifically to find the winner of the 2-year-old classic the next year. She says it every year when they interview her, like, what are you looking for? She's like, I'm looking for next year's winner, like plain and simple. Like I'm not here to buy a horse that's going to be good in 4 years' time. I'm here to find next year's 2-year-old winner, and I'm here to find next year's slipper winner. Like that's, like you said, it's her bread and butter. That's what she likes winning. Those 2-year-old features, those big money races, win them, put them away to breed, and then they just keep giving you paychecks every, time they get served. So, like you said, definitely finds them, but it's not for a lack of spending. She'll definitely be one of the highest spenders at the sales every year. It's probably probably her, Coolmore, and Tia Cow probably just drop. It's like a dick weighing contest. They just go there and they just get their dicks out and they just drop money left, right, and center.
Gay's got the biggest dick.
I would say so. She's got the biggest dick energy out of anyone, mate. We met her last year. She is a force of nature and we love her for it. But we'll get into the rundown now, guys. 10 races on the card. The weather, like I said, it's very unpredictable. They're saying anywhere from 10 millimeters to 60 millimeters is going to drop on that track between now and race time. So we could be anywhere from the soft 5 that it is currently to a complete heavy 10. I'm leaning towards the more heavy side. But what we do know is unless the sun comes out and dries it all out like it did last year, we should be on some form of a wet track. So look for those horses who can get it done on all sort of conditions, especially if they've got good form in the wet. The rail is in the true position. But obviously, if it does become a bit of a bog, they'll start to get off the fence and it will become quite the interesting day later on in the card because they'll all be looking for gaps and there might not be many if they're spreading all the way out across the track. So we go to race 1. This is the 1100 meter Magic Millions maiden plate. So these are all horses that we actually know quite well, Nick. These are I see a few faces that have been spooked to us by trainers as they've bought them and then spooked to us again as they've come into their 2-year-old, 3-year-old seasons. These are all horses that were bought at the Millions but didn't really turn out and get the ROI that the owners were looking for. But they've given them this opportunity up here to win 250 grand just for trying to get the monkey off the back. So one of these horses is going to break their maiden today. And look, one of those familiar faces that was spooked to us last year was Inner Visions. Nisham told us specifically she bought it for the slipper, never made it there, finds himself here, freshly gelded, first up of 2 solid trials. Shin is booked from a nice middle draw. Also does his best work first up. His 2 runs that were really solid were both first up. $10 to win, $3 10 to place. Has me hooked. Happy to have a nice each-way bet to start the day.
Not bad, mate. I'm going with Shalar Gold, $6, $2.30. Second place every start, 4 starts, just been out of it. 17th barrier is the only worry. Can get done on all types of tracks as shown. Has been there and thereabouts, but could go one better here. So going to go with that for the first. We move to the second, 1,200 meters, race number 2. Another field that we've probably had a look at and seen a lot of. I'm going with Blake Shin here with Quaddie. 10th barrier, one last start, $8.50 over at Warwick Farm at one, pretty nicely by 2 lengths. Comes up here, should do well. Going with Quaddie.
Lovely stuff, mate. Great minds think alike. It is an ugly, ugly field here, like the Country Cup. You know, this is a glorified Magic Millions version of the highway, I would say. So big field, a lot of horses that can win. But I'm with Quaid as well. Warwick, not Warwick Farm, sorry, up in Queensland. Yeah, Shin again. You'll see. I'm hoping Shin has a big day. He ticks all the boxes, can get it done on all kinds of track. I think he is the one to be within the Country Cup as we move to race 3. The debut, of course, the Magic Millions debut. You can win 300 grand here just for making your debut. These are all horses that would have been bought last year. So we would have seen quite a few of these go through the ring. Obviously, I didn't keep track enough to know which one was which, and, you know, which lot turned out to be Steel Knight, which lot turned out to be Amosu. But we would have seen almost all of these get sold. So I'll be interested to see how they go. You really got to go off feel here, punters, because it's all down to who has the best bloodlines, who has the best setup, who has the best trainer, and who's had the best trials. Sayatana out of the Waterhouse and Bot Camp, it's out of Written Tycoon. You know it's going to be ready to go, so that catches my eye, especially at $12. If it wins, I'm going to kick myself because I haven't sided with it here, but I definitely respect a bet on it. You can't let a Waterhouse horse go through at $12 in a race like this without at least including it in your exotics. But I'm going to take Darn Hot Lady. Same sire as Broadsiding, 2 Darn Hot. Also same sire as 2 Darn Lizzie, who won this race last year. I'm a big 2 Darn Hot guy. Fantastic sire for 2-year-olds. Craig Williams on board here. Hopefully this sire can produce another winner with this colt. This girl. Darn Hot Lady. I hope at $6.50 win, $2.20. Darn Hot Lady can get it done.
I'm going with your Saitara, whatever it is. $14, $3.75. Can't have a price like that for a Gay Waterhouse 2-year-old. I think they're kind of just sending it here, though, maybe potentially, but hasn't been too bad in the trials. Come second twice. So, but there's a bit of a dartboard here, guys. I'd watch it closely, see who runs well, because you might be able to snag a winner down the line. But this one's a pretty hard one, but I can't discount Gay Waterhouse. As we move to race number 4, and go to 2,200 meters here. Your favorites, Belvedere Boys, and I've got to be with it. Proved it here and here again. There's one up in Gold Coast, up at Eagle Farm. In Queensland. And yeah, doing well. $3.90. It's one that we've followed pretty closely. Blake Shin's obviously one of the top jockeys in the world. Can you get it done here? $3.90 for me.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. Belvedere Boys. He's one of the very few I'm with confidence on a day that they're just confidence is lacking. So that's saying something. There's only about 2 or 3 horses that I'm actually real keen on in this meeting, and Belvedere Boys is one of them. He's got Sydney form. He's got Shin on board. He's just a stayer. He's absolutely jumped out of his skin this prep. He'll stay all day. He swims. He's one of those ones where I just think he's favourite for a reason. Hopefully he runs like it, and he should take this out if he brings his best. We move to race 5, 1,300 meters. Who runs the world? Girls. Okay, this is for the fillies and mares. It's a few that are in really nice form here, and a few that actually have, Group 1 form lines. Revolutionary Miss is one of them that I spot there. I'm dropping off her, and now that I will, she'll probably come out and win, because I was on her last start and thought she was going to piss in because she was very well placed at the weights, just like she is here, considering her spring form, around the likes of the Tissues and the Amelia Jules and a few other really good runs down there in the spring. But she sort of failed last start, only finished 2 lengths off them. So if you want to stick with her, be my guest. But instead, I'm going on another favourite here. I'm playing the straight bat with Miss Roombini. Okay, has some really good form around some talented Melbourne horses when it comes to the summer sort of thing. So while Revolutionary Miss has some spring form, Roombini probably has the best form in this race from a summer point of view. A little short at $3.10. She's well found. I wouldn't be loading her, but I have to have her on top here at $3.10.
I'm going Anahita. Waller, McElvoy, good form on the heavy track. Probably hasn't been there or thereabouts in the last couple races that it's run, but I'll give it a chance here. 17th barrier, a bit of a worry as always.
Absolutely flew home last start.
Yeah,
though,
did well up in Queensland as well at 100-1. It was paying as well. So $9.50 here for the fillies and mares as we move to race number 6, 1200 meter. I really like this race, mate. I think it's a good one to watch. Again, I feel like to this day is traditionally, I know we've done well, but I love watching this because it kind of sets the tone for autumn for a lot of horses, and you can kind of play a lot of form lines out of this day. And I think Hard to Say is one that you really need to watch here, but I'm going to go with Zarastro. $10 and $3 for a place. Should be peaking for this one, doing really well. Last start wasn't too bad. 7th, about 3 lengths behind the winner. Should be good. Does it again, hopefully. But yeah, Zarastro for me.
I remember this time last year, Zarastro was in the Magic Millions Cup. I think it might have even been your best bet for the day, but it was one of the more confident tips we had, and it went down to a certain horse by the name of Samana, and that's who I'm on here as well. I just think you have to be on her. She's Group 1 form behind the likes of Via Sistina and also Everest horses like Bella Nipotina in her last couple of preps. She swims. She's never missed the placings at the distance. She's drawn to be in a peach spot going around the bend. Plus, she's well in at the weights, can win at $5. I think that's an absolute gift if it gets up. I think Zarastro will be hard to beat, but I reckon Samana can get the job and get one up on him again on the same day. We move to race 7. Now, this is the big one of the day. This is what all the eyes are going to be on. The 1,200 metres Magic Millions 2-year-old classic. Previous winners, of course, Stormboy last year, absolutely shit in. The year before that, I believe it was Skirt the Law. The year before that, it was Cool Gatter, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, punters. But these are the sort of horses that immediately become your Golden Slipper favourite, but they don't always go on to win the Golden Slipper. Very few of them actually do, punters. So I think you're not going to see a Golden Slipper winner in this field. But there also isn't a horse in here that really screams Golden Slipper, but there might be one that puts their hand up. Because there was a few last year's race that didn't win it, but they certainly put in a good effort come Golden Slipper time. But going through the field, mate, what are you liking? What are you thinking?
I like a couple of them. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to go for a horse that's probably had a bit more experience out of this one. I don't really like the ones that are coming in second up. Personally, this is a hard one. This is
it's the most open there's been in quite a while. The last few have had clear-cut favourites. 2 of them won. 1 of them didn't when Skirt the Law had that upset.
Yeah, it's a different one. There's you could go anywhere and I'd say fair enough, but I'm going to settle with La Bella Boom, $7, $2.40. Good form, has won on the soft track, so can get it done in the wet if it doesn't get to that heavy range where it's sitting at the moment. Getting it done at the distance pretty nicely, 1,100 running it out. One at the 1,200 the start before that. But Craig Williams as well. It's the one that sticks out the most to me. Every other one, there's just like they're all just thereabouts, but this one personally stuck out to me where I can have a bet on it and set a decent price where it's not too bad.
Fair enough. Icarian Dream was my tip for a long time. I'd had 2 bets for this race in the futures market, and that was at Icarian Dream when she was shorter, so I won't be backing her on the day, but I'm annoyed that she's drifted out. I thought she would start a little shorter. I also had Tempestuous. I've got that on for the slipper as well, but he's turned out to be not so great. Hopefully he comes back in the autumn and he at least makes the slipper field, so I have a live ticket. But the barrier draw just took Icarian Dream out for me. 21 is doable, especially if the horses are getting off the fence later in the day, but I don't know, just 21, I really don't like it. Obviously, we'll come in a bit when the emergencies don't get their start. But yeah, you watch. Now that I've talked my way off it, it'll win. But so I 100% respect a bet on her punters. I would say keep her in your exotics, but just because they've clearly targeted her for this race. They've flogged her. It's 4 starts up until now. They've targeted it all the way along. But I've instead sided with Gallo Nero. It's something about Watton Bassett, mate. The sire. He's a super sire over in the UK, by all accounts. I'm very interested to see how his progeny goes in Australia. He's got a few going around. This one has been the best so far. His first start was very so-so, very average. But then the second one, much better. Just rising over the top of them, grabbing that win. He'll take fitness from that. He should be peaking third up here. Schiller is flying as well. So I'm glad that he sticks here. Should get a gun run from the barrier. And then I believe he's at $8 to win, $2.70 to place. That's enough for me. Hopefully he can get the job done. But yeah, very open race, guys. I think if you put 10 in your quaddie, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah, I'm going with Snitson over here. 1-3 on the trot. It's going back down to the 1400 for this one. 1-2 at the mile. Should be pretty fit for this one. Maybe at the back end of the prep is the only kind of worry, but yeah, has one on a heavy track. If it gets real wet, and it's only other not too good was a 5th place, which was on the soft track, but it wasn't too bad there. It just got stuck a little bit. So Snitson over for me, $6.50 for the win in the 3-year-old. Do you want to take us to the race number 9?
Well, I got to give my tip in the 3-year-old, mate. Don't jump the gun too much.
Did that?
No, that was Going Heroes, the 2-year-old, bro.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
The 3-year-old guineas, again, hard race. You could have settled on about 8 of them. I've gone for value in Street Chase at $16 to win, $4.20 to place. Nice middle draw. Yet to miss the placings in its career. Gets Craig Williams. Has some very solid form around him for a race like this, and better yet, he's one in the heavy. So if it's soaked, he can get the job done. Should be right up on the pace, can fall into the placings. I'll be happy with that at that price, but if he wins, I'll be licking my lips. So we now move to race 9, that Magic Millions Cup that we discussed earlier that was won by Samana at 1,400 metres. Another incredibly tough race. I've managed to settle on Charmstone for the price in Kent Yard. No real confidence, but the form lines in the Group 1s it raced in earlier in the spring shows me just a bit of a class edge on this lot. And with Damien Lane aboard, clearly there is some intent from the camp to get this one. So interested to see how she goes with the drop in class. $7.50 win, $2.50 Charmstone for me.
I'm going with a bounding, $8.50. Going to give its last run. And it also finished in the prep behind Bella Nipotina, 2 lengths behind, which is great form to go off. 16th barrier, a bit of a worry, but it's all right. When it's a bit wetter, I feel like, and the bigger fields, you kind of can settle a bit nicer. So that's for me. And then we move over to the last race, number 10, 1,300 meters. Good race, this. I like this one as well. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going with Boom Talk here. $4.60, another Blake Shin horse that I'm on. It's been really, really good this prep. Been very unlucky with 2 just outside the minor placings and then 1 in the minor placing and a win as well. But yeah, looks pretty good set up for this one. First barrier should settle nicely. Good spot. Blake Shin, $4.60. Going to be mine in the last.
Yeah, look, Yellow Brick has a tough setup there with 61 kilos, 15th barrier. But, gee, he's just the class horse of the race. He's bad setup, especially if it's an absolute bog come the end of the day and he has to get weighed down. But he is an out-and-out, I think, on his day, Group 3, Group 2 horse, and can run well in Group 1 company. I don't think he's a Group 1 sort of winner when it comes to, like, Sydney Group 1s, but he can definitely run well in that company. He ran really well in that 5 Diamonds. Obviously, I know that's not a Group 1 race, so don't yell at me. But, you know, he very close to beating Pericles on that day when you snagged him at $20 there. I just think if he's able to produce that against a horse like a Pericles who would shit in here, surely he just gets it done. $5, I know the weight's an issue, the barrier's an issue, but I just can't stay away from him. I just think class gets it done here.
Fair enough.
All right, that finishes it off. 10 races have been tipped here. Hopefully, like usually, we can have a big day and set the tone hard for the year to come. Have you found anything away from Gold Coast? I know I haven't, because all sort of attention heads to Gold Coast. There's nothing really that gets me up and about around the country, but you might have found some.
I've just got one down in Flemington, race number 9, the favourite, Le Zebra, $3.20, benchmark 84, the 1,600 with Jamie Carr on. That's my only around the grounds, like you said. And the punting's been pretty average lately, guys. So we've kind of stood.
Summer cannot end soon enough. The last few years have been somewhat okay, but it's been almost unbettable the last few weeks.
Yeah. Since spring ended, we've been pretty unlucky with even NBA and stuff and BBL and different things, but we'll come back, especially when footy starts back. We know that's our bread and butter.
That's the money maker.
So we'll get back onto that. And then obviously autumn as well. We can hopefully tip some winners there. But that's my around the ground. We'll do you want to take it to the Quaddie?
Of course, yeah, like I said, can be copied now on Dabble. So head to our profile there and you can just press copy and it'll be straight in.
Just skip this bit if you don't want to listen to it. It'll be on our profile and you can do it. But we'll read it out if you guys want to put it on a different bookie.
So for race 7, the 2-year-old classic, we've got Gallinero, my tip, Nick's tip, Labella Boom, Memo, and then Invincible Women. We're leaving Icarian Dream out and we're hoping our theory about the barrier stays true. 2, 9, 10, 13. We've got Snitsanova, Street Chase, Arriving Home, and Tuileries the favourite in the 3-year-old Guineas, 6, 9, 17, 18. We've got a Bounding, Moravia, Charmstone, and Redford in race 9 there, 2, 5, 6, 19. And then in the last, we've got my tip, Yellow Brick, Nick's tip, Boom Talk, and then Sefrado and Hidden Wealth, 1, 2, 3, 6. As always, as the mock quaddies do, $50 will get you 19.5%. Mate, if you're having one bet around the country, I presume it's going to be on the Gold Coast. What's your best bet of the day?
I think it's going to be Belvedere Boys for me. It's set up really nicely for this one. We've followed it. It's been winning pretty easily in the last couple of months. $3.90. It's going to be my best. There's not a lot that I'm really confident in, but that's probably the one that I'm the most confident in.
I don't blame you, mate. That was going to be my best bet, but I have one as a backup. I had Samana as well. Samana and Belvedere Boys are the only 2 horses on the day that I'm backing with actual confidence. I think Samana just gets the job done there at $5. It's a very nice price for a best bet as well. So hopefully we sweep them. Belvedere Boys into Samana. That'll be a very nice multi. That'll be up on Dabble as well. And yeah, hopefully we just set the tone for the year to come. You're going for 3 straight best bets. I haven't found one in God knows how long. I just keep running second and third and sometimes dead last as well. I'm really good at finding a horse that drifts into like $2.30 and then doesn't even run a place. But hopefully we set the tone nice and hard.
100%. Well, that brings us to the end.
Yes, like we said, guys, this is the last time you'll hear us previewing the races until English Millennium Day, which is the first week of February, I believe, and then we'll be with you all autumn long, headed into slipper season, headed into championship season, and then we'll have plenty of content coming in the next few months as well on the socials, so keep an eye out for that.
100%. Thanks for listening, guys. If you did, like we said, we'll be on Double in the early weeks of February as well, so wait out for then. If not, we'll be betting on there until then, and then hopefully we can bring some more stuff coming through winter as well. So thanks a lot, appreciate you guys. Good to be back for a little snippet, but yeah, we go back for another couple of weeks off here, so enjoy, good luck, and we'll see you next time.